Buen día para todos los que me siguen para mi canal de YouTube. Hoy mi canal se viste de gala. Voy a grabar una entrevista con el primer gran maestro de ajedrez de toda la historia de Asia. Estoy hablando de Eugene Torre.
How old were you the first time you played chess? Who taught you to play chess?
The first time I played chess, I remember. I think I was 5 or 6 years old. I
Él
came from a chess playing family. Yes, I came from a chess playing family. My brothers were good players, and my father also loved chess for the family. And the one who taught me chess was my grandfather. And then I learned on my own also when I was watching my brothers playing chess when I was still very young.
ok, él está diciendo que empezó a jugar a los 5 años en familia, el hermano jugaba muy bien ajedrez y que al principio le empezó a enseñar su padre, que se llama Federico, y que también después lo hizo por su propia cuenta.
¿Quién fue tu ídolo en el mundo del ajedrez?
Who was your first idol in the world of chess?
Well, when I became very serious with chess, uh, it was at that time it was really Bobby Fischer who captured my imagination, and of course he was my first idol. I have many, I look up to, especially the world champions. But the first among the world champions, even before Bobby became world champion, was he was my first idol, Bobby Fischer.
Dice que tiene muchos ídolos, pero el principal, el primero es Bobby Fischer. Em,
Bueno, ¿qué torneo considera el mejor de su carrera?
which tournament did you win that you consider the best of your career?
I cannot choose just one because there's more than one, in my opinion. First of all, it was when I became grandmaster in 1974. Of course, that was very important because I became a grandmaster and it was first in Asia. So it was very, very important. And then, of course, I remember in 1976, when I won a tournament with Karpov, Lyubovich, and Walter Brown. It was a quadrangular match. So that tournament is also very important because I won the tournament and I won a very important game against Anatoly Karpov. And maybe the last one, very important for me, is when I qualified in the candidates. So these are probably the three very important events in my life.
Ok, él dice que primero, el más importante es cuando se convirtió en gran maestro en el año 1974. En segundo lugar, en Asia, the tournament. In second
No,
place,
the tournament was in Nice, France, Olympiad in 1974.
ah, en el torneo que compartió con Karpov, con Brown, con Bobby Fischer Games. Y en el tercer lugar, cuando calificó para el torneo de candidatos.
Genial. En 1973, Fischer visitó Filipinas invitado por Florencio Campomanes. ¿Esa fue la primera vez que habló con Bobby Fischer?
In 1973, Bobby Fischer visited Philippines because Florencio Campomanes invited him. It was the first time that you spoke with Bobby Fischer.
Yes, that was the first time I spoke with Bobby Fischer in 1973. Uh, but I was watching his game when he was first invited here in 1968. I was still very young. 1967. He was invited here 1967 and he was playing against the top players of the Philippines. And I was only watching because I was not yet among the top players in the country. So that was the first time I saw Bobby Fischer and I was very happy.
En el año 1973, sí, es la primera vez que conoció a Bobby Fischer. Él ya lo venía viendo por sus juegos. em, y en ese momento él era el primer tablero ahí en Filipinas donde vive.
En ese viaje, el presidente Marcos dijo que pondría 5 millones de dólares para en 1975 el match Fischer-Karpov. Me gustaría saber su opinión sobre el resultado del match Fischer-Karpov si se hubiera jugado.
Eh,
Well, I was talking with Mr. Campomanes and he told me that there was not yet a definite offer from the president. But Campomanes knew that President Marcos, if ever the match will push through, he knew that President Marcos will support the match between Bobby Fischer and Anatoly Karpov. Unfortunately, it did not materialize.
Él dice que hubo una oferta entre Campos Manes y Marcos para poder que se juegue ese match. Eh, pero afortunadamente no se realizó.
¿Y cuál hubiese sido la opinión
And what
de-
was your opinion about on the outcome of the match if Karpov had agreed to play?
I am in the generation of Karpov, but during that time, Bobby Fischer was really very strong. And I believe that Bobby Fischer has the better chance to win the championship in 1975. Maybe in another championship later, 3 years or 6 years later, maybe then Karpov has the chance to beat Bobby Fischer.
Él dice que Bobby Fischer era mucho más fuerte que Karpov en el año 1975. Hubiera sido distinto unos 3 años antes, había sido distinto el resultado, pero en ese momento hubiera ganado Bobby Fischer.
antes o después?
En el momento ese de
En el
1975.
75 y en el 78.
En el año, 3 años antes tenía sus dudas.
Bueno, Miguel Ángel Quintero me dijo que usted fue testigo de un reloj de 10.000 dólares que Bobby Fischer le regaló en Zurich a Miguel Ángel. ¿Qué recuerda de ese día?
Miguel Ángel Quinteros told Federico that you was the witness about the watch of $10,000 that Bobby Fischer gave him in Zurich. What do you remember about this day?
No, I Bobby told me about the watch he gave to Quinteros, but I was not in the shop when Bobby bought it. Maybe I was looking for another watch because Bobby also gave me watch, Rado watch, another brand. And but my watch Bobby gave me, I think, was worth $5,000. So it is the watch Bobby gave to Quinteros was more expensive.
Dice que en ese momento él no estaba justo, pero estaba en el shop recorriendo y estaba mirando otras cosas y Bobby Fischer le regaló a él también un reloj de 5 millones. O sea, el de Quinteros es mucho más caro que el que le regaló a él. Qué gracioso. It's funny.
¿Qué recuerda de la última vez que habló con Bobby Fischer?
What do you remember?
Yeah,
Oh, yes, yes,
yeah,
repeat.
yeah. Well, we Bobby liked to walk, so we walk a lot and we talk a lot, about his ideas and all that. Not only in chess, later about the Fisher Random. But we walk a lot also when we were in Hungary, after the match. I stayed longer and then I returned in 1993 and we walk a lot, he loved very much to walk. And then he was talking about the Fisher Random and all that. And then we were watching cinemas, a lot of cinemas in Budapest, no? Not in Manila, in Budapest. And then he liked to eat popcorn while watching, but popcorn without butter and without salt, no? Very careful, Bobby was. And yeah, so uh, I had a memorable time when I was with Bobby, Until now, I still remember it very much.
Él dice que compartía con Bobby ideas, le contaba acerca del Fischerandon en Hungría en 1993, compartían en Budapest cines, le gustaba sentarse a comer pochoclos em, y tiene muchos lindos recuerdos con Bobby Fischer.
Del Internacional de Leningrado, que usted derrota a Tal y Larsen, ¿qué recuerda de ese torneo?
Leningrado
Uh,
International Tournament, you beat Tal and Larsen. What do you remember about that tournament?
uh, well, I remember very much both these games because many of the participants were my, I, they are like my idol also. I read them very much in books. So, but of course, the most memorable one was against Michael Tal. Against Larsen, I managed to draw, I was 2 pawns down in a rook and pawn ending. So it was also memorable because it was against Larsen. And I think the draw affected Larsen because he was leading the tournament. And after that draw, uh, his result was not so good and he failed to qualify, So these were the two games were very memorable to me.
Dice que estaba muy contento de participar porque los que participaban a él eran sus ídolos, que él lo había visto en los libros. Em, Estaba muy contento con Tal y con Larsen, que lo derrotó y con eso calificó para un torneo.
Está bien. ¿Cómo recuerda a Lubomir Lugojevic, a Quinteros y a Anderson, que eran muy amigos los cuatro?
How do you remember
Ah,
Lubomir, Lubovich,
Lugojevic.
Lubovich, Quinteros y Anderson?
yeah, these are the three very close to me, I had great memories with these players. We had very good relationship, outside the chessboard. We talk a lot, our experiences, our likes. Uh, I enjoyed very much their company. But you know what? When we play our games, we play like big enemies, We are great friends, but also great enemies on the chessboard.
Ok, dice que él tenía relación, aparte del mundo del ajedrez, compartían gustos, salidas, compañías y bueno, eh, distintas cosas.
¿Qué recuerda de la Olimpiada de Buenos Aires de 1978?
What do,
Yeah, memorable to me because Buenos Aires, how can I forget Buenos Aires with the delicious steak, and very nice walk, there. Eh, So, and beautiful people, nice people, very friendly. And chess is very, very popular in Buenos Aires. I remember I was in Buenos Aires first in 1975 because I was a good friend already with Quinteros, and then 1978, and then the last time I was in Buenos Aires was with Bobby Fischer in 1996. So I have been to Argentina three times. And I think in 1975, I even played in one tournament in the province there. So I have great memories during my visit in Argentina, you know, uh, because with Bobby Fischer and then with Quinteros and then the Olympiad. So very memorable my experience in Buenos Aires.
Dice que sus recuerdos de estar en Buenos Aires son deliciosa comida, como la carne, lindas personas. El ajedrez es muy popular en Buenos Aires. Estuvo en el año 1975 con Quinteros, en 1980 con Bobby Fischer. Y recuerda mucho el año este de la Olimpiada que se dio en Buenos Aires, donde pudo participar.
En el Internacional de Toluca del 82, él gana compartido con Lajos Portic, el gran maestro húngaro, y lo clasifica al torneo de candidatos. ¿Cómo lo recuerda?
In Toluca International in 1982, you shared the first place with Jaime Portis, and you qualified for the candidates tournament. How do you remember it?
Yeah, the Toluca Interzonal is very memorable to me uh, because for the first time, an Asian qualified in the candidates. And very memorable because at one point, I won 5 games in a row. That's why I was an underdog there. I was not expected to qualify. But because of my 5 wins in a row, before the last 2 or 3 rounds, that gave me the chance to qualify for the candidates. So I was very happy when I qualified because it was the first time that an Asian qualified in the candidates. And also I remember my game against Portis. It was very exciting. It was adjourned and it was study like ending, I had to save the end game, and I managed to draw the game, and that helped me to qualify for the candidates.
Dice que él en ese torneo es memorable porque es la primera vez que un asiático podía pasar al torneo de candidatos. Ganó 5 torneos en 3 rondas en Toluca y recuerda principalmente el enfrentamiento con el Jaime Portish, donde estaba muy ansioso, contento y lo disfrutó mucho.
¿Cómo evalúa a la escuela soviética de ajedrez habiendo enfrentado entre tantas figuras a Tal, Petrosian, Smilov, Karpov, entre otros?
How do you
Yeah,
evaluate the
yeah,
Soviet school having faced so many stars like Tal, Petrosian, Smilov, Karpov, among others?
Yeah, very strong, of course. Remember, during that time, there was no computer yet. And And you have to remember that the Soviet government gave full support to their top players. That's why they had these great champions, you know. So during that time, the level of Soviet chess uh, was really, they really dominated, you know, compared to the other countries because of the strong support of the government. And with the exception of Bobby Fischer, who succeeded in breaking, you know, the stronghold of the championship. So during that time, uh, the Soviets was almost invincible.
Dice que recordemos que en esa época no había computadora, entonces en el mundo soviético de ajedrez, la escuela soviética tenía muy buenos jugadores que dominaban y hacían diferencia con el resto de los otros países, a excepción hasta que comenzó Bobby Fischer, ¿sí? Y ahí también empezó a tener gran fuerza de juego.
¿Cómo recuerda el match del año 84 entre la Unión Soviética y el resto del mundo, donde él eh, termina sacando 2 puntos sobre 3 versus Andrei Sokolov?
Ah,
Vos
yeah. I have I have great memory of this event, you know, because well, you know, the first Russia or Soviet Union against the world was very popular, of course, with Bobby Fischer there and Bent Larsen. But the second one was also exciting, uh, and I was happy to be part of the rest of the world. And I was also happy and surprised that I managed to make a positive score against Andrei Sokolov, who was the Soviet champion during that time. uh, Ultimately, the Soviets won again in the championship, but I think the margin was not that big. You know, it was a close fight, very interesting. And considering that Bobby Fischer was not present in our team, yeah, so very interesting, and I was very happy with my result.
Él dice que estuvo muy orgulloso de formar parte del resto del mundo y la victoria con Sokolov, que es de la escuela soviética, lo puso muy feliz, ¿sí? Y bueno, y Bobby Fischer y Ben Larsen también eran los ídolos en la parte del resto del mundo.
En su etapa olímpica, él tiene una medalla de plata en 1974 y 3 medallas de bronce, 1980, 1986 y 2016. ¿Cómo recuerda esas medallas?
In the Olympics, you won a silver medal in 1974, first ball, and three bronzes, 1980, 1986, and 2016. What do you remember about this?
Yeah, of course, I'm very happy to have these achievements. You know, because Olympics is very important for the world chess, you know, because it is one event where all the players, once every 2 years, we gather together, you know. You see your idols, you see, and sometimes you play with your idols, with someone you you treat highly, and also in the Olympiad you meet friends, you know. Generally in the Olympiad you are enemies on the chessboard, but you are also like friends outside the chessboard. It's like a homecoming, you know. So I always treasure all my Olympiads, 23, all of them. No, not only 23. I was present from 1970 up to the last Olympiad. I was always there. 23 as a player and the rest as team captain. So since 1970, uh, I have attended all the Olympiads. The last one was in Hungary, no? The last Olympiad was in Hungary, and all my experience in all these Olympiads, I treasure very much.
Dice que en las Olimpiadas se pone feliz porque está con muchos ídolos y también con muchos amigos que hizo a lo largo de los años en el mundo del ajedrez. Y menciona el año 1970. You in 1970, you have another medal in
No,
Olympiad?
no, 1970, no medal, no medal. I was playing on board two, and no medal. My first medal was in 1974,
Ah, ok,
silver medal on board one.
ok,
Yeah. And then the rest, like you mentioned, in 1980, 1986, and 2016.
ok.
En el año 92, él fue el segundo de Fischer en el match revancha con Boris Spassky. ¿Cómo recuerda a Fischer y a Boris Spassky?
You were Fischer
Well,
second in the match revenge in 1992. Um, you how remember you Bobby Fischer and ex champion Spassky.
yeah, I always remember that. Sometimes I dream of it, you know, because I treasure very much my experience there. And, before the match, I received a telephone call from FIDE, and I spoke with the secretary. And then she asked me, ah, ah, Bobby Fischer wanted you to become his second. Would you accept it? I was, I was almost I could not believe it, you know. Of course, I would be very happy to be Bobby Fischer's second. And so uh, I attended the match. I treasure very much the experience there because it was a competition between two gentlemen, you know. Uh, Boris Spassky is a gentleman on and off the chessboard. So, and Bobby Fischer also regarded although they are great enemies on the chessboard, he was one of the players that Bobby has. He, Spassky is he spoke highly of Spassky, you know. So yeah, and I remember before the start of the match, the organizer was asking Spassky, what would you want? Do you have any recommendation for the match? And Spassky said, anything that Fisher wants, give it to him. That is my, that is only what I want, you know, because I know, Spassky said, what Bobby wants is for so that the match will be in excellent condition. So what Bobby wants, give it to him because that's what also I like. So it was very interesting and yeah, um, I say great warriors on the chessboard, but a true gentleman outside the chessboard, both of them. And I treasure very much the experience, you know, I had during that match. I remember Fischer also played a warm-up match with Gligorich, Yeah. And I was also surprised when a few days before the start of the match, Bobby said, Eugene, let's play one practice game. I was surprised when he suggested this.
Mm.
So the next day we played the practice game, and I was happy to draw that game.
Bien. Dice que él recibió unos días antes de la secretaria de la FIDE y le dijo que Bobby Fischer quería que él sea el segundo tablero y no lo podía creer. Bueno, el evento fue una experiencia inolvidable, eran todos muy caballeros. em, Spassky es un caballero, ¿sí? Y bueno, recuerda que le consultaron a Spassky recomendaciones acerca de Bobby Fischer y Spassky dijo de él en todo lo que Bobby necesita. Se jugó en unas excelentes condiciones, fue un encuentro muy interesante y Bobby Fischer unos días antes que el jueves le dijo, Eugenio le dio como unos tips para poder participar y jugar. Para él fue una experiencia inolvidable.
Le quiero dar las gracias a Eugenio Torre a vos por haber sido traductora, por la diferencia horaria, por la predisposición que él tuvo, de recordarle de vuelta que en Argentina y en América Latina todas le tenemos un gran cariño y que estoy muy feliz de que me haya dado la nota.
Em, He said that he's very happy about this interview. Thank you for you, and thank you for me for try to translate. And he said that in America, in Argentina especially, likes you a lot, and we are proud about your career.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for your translation. You translated very well my English. Hopefully, next time I will learn more Spanish. But anyway, thank you very much. And this interview reminded me of my previous visits in Argentina, which I treasure very much. And I look forward that in the near future I can visit again Argentina so that I can taste the bife de lomo and all the nice food you have there. Very, very nutritious and very. It makes me stronger, when I'm in Argentina, especially because of the beef de lomo. Anyway, thank you very much again, and to all Argentines. Uh, uh, Thank you for this invitation, and hopefully looking forward that in the near future, I was talking with Miguel Quinteros. Hopefully, I can visit again Buenos Aires.
Bueno, dice que me agradece a mí por la traducción. Gracias por lo que le hizo recordar todas las épocas que él estuvo acá en Buenos Aires, que comió bife de lomo, que eso lo hace más fuerte. Lo que más recuerda de Argentina es eso y que en un futuro espera volver a venir a Argentina con Miguel Ángel Quintero para visitarlo. Así que, bueno, muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Espera, por-
Finish?
Bueno, decirle,
Hello?
gracias por todo.
Thank you for all.
No, hola, hola. Hello, I want to say something. Is it okay?
Yes, okay. Quiere decir algo.
Okay, okay. I will I will tell a story, and then it's up to you if you want to include it or not. Okay?
Yes.
When I was in Buenos Aires in 1996 together with Bobby Fischer, because remember, there was this supposed match. I was supposed to play against the Argentine champion, I forgot his name, of Fisher Random. Anyway,
Pablo Riccardi.
Bobby Fischer was bringing the chess clock, the chess clock that we are using now, because he invented the chess clock. And he would always carry it,
Mm.
with himself because he did not want to leave the chess clock in the hotel. You want to translate it because maybe it would be
Yes,
too long?
yes.
Yes, please.
Federico say about the name of the person was Pablo Ricciardi. Ricciardi.
Riccardi.
Ah, yes, Pablo
Ricciardi.
Pablo
Riccardi.
Riccardi.
Yeah,
Ricciardi
yeah.
in 1996.
Yes.
Sí. Bobby Fischer vino con usted a Argentina por el Fischer Random y em, con,
Por qué no se jugó ese match? Pregúntale.
Federico tell you about why this match didn't play.
Well, because in the interview before the match, Bobby Fischer spoke. Bobby Fischer, sometimes he would speak very strongly, and I think the the promoter was not happy about it because sometimes Bobby Fischer would speak very very strong, uh, so yeah, that's why the match was cancelled, unfortunately. But I was supposed to play against Riccardi in a Fisher Random, and but unfortunately it was cancelled. But anyway, the story I wanted to say was that Bobby Fischer was always carrying this chess clock in a box, and then he loved to walk at night, for exercise. Together, we walk and we talk and we walk and we talk. But he was carrying the chess clock. And suddenly, there was a police, police with a patrol car. And the police went, uh, they went down of the car. They got out of the car, but with with guns, with and then they said stop. So we stopped. I think they got worried because Bobby was maybe they were thinking it was some kind of a bomb, My goodness. And so we stopped, and then they check, but with the guns. And anyway, they check, and they were surprised to see a clock, because maybe it's a time bomb, no? No, but we had to explain it's a chess clock, no, Bobby? Finally, Bobby succeeded in explaining that this is just a chess clock for his Fisherandom. Anyway, it's a good thing nothing bad happened in that very, very delicate situation.
Él está contando la historia que iban caminando, salían los dos a hacer ejercicio con Bobby, caminaban y hablaban, caminaban y hablaban, y Bobby Fischer, el reloj de ajedrez, ¿no? Sí.
It's in
Y
the box.
iban caminando y los paró un auto de policía y estaban con armas. Y entonces ellos se asustaron y pensaron que tenían una bomba en vez del reloj. Y bueno, entre los dos trataron de explicar a la policía que llevaban un reloj de ajedrez que habían traído para el Fischerandom.
Muy
That
interesante
clock
la
would have
anécdota.
been, we would have used that clock if the match continue, push through. If the match became a match, we would have used that chess clock. That's why Bobby brought it.
Claro, lo del reloj que Bobby Fischer fue
Lo
el
había
creador,
patentado.
lo había patentado al
Yes,
reloj.
yes, patented.
Bueno, agradecer la nota. Y
Thank
But
you.
unfortunately, Unfortunately, Bobby got no money from that invention of his. He also got no reward, unfortunately. He told me he got also no reward from his books and all that. Anyway, that's very sad, those sad happening on Bobby.
No recibió regalías por el uso del reloj. eh,
Nothing. He got nothing.
Nada.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bueno, muy amable y gracias por darme esta entrevista que para mí fue un sueño.
He's amazing and happy for the interview, and thank you very much because we have a lot of different hours um, to Filipinas, to Buenos Aires, to the interview.
Muchas gracias también. Muy amable. Bye
Saludos,
bye.
gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you very much.